We're going to Barcelona to spend one day with students, faculty and staff of the EU Business School, which has produced many top managers of international organizations, innovators, entrepreneurs and famous people. The speed at which everything changes and the threat of destruction create incredible opportunities. I want to talk about teaching. They have a completely different approach to it here. I could compare it to attending a concert or a performance by a great comedian or some other spectacle. So what teachers do here, their methods remind me of some kind of performance. The teacher here can spark interest in the subject they're teaching. You won't fall asleep during lectures. You'll be actually listening to the teacher.
So I went back to so here, rather than the experience, it's like saying we can choose.
Today, the professor told us about the cases of two airlines. One is an ultra-low-cost airline, Ryanair, and the other is Singapore Airlines, which on the contrary is high-end. It was like a mini show. It was really interesting to watch for an hour and a half. The professor kept the entire audience of our class hooked. He involved everyone in the learning process. There was an element of a comedy club of sorts when the speaker communicates with the audience in a humorous way. Why do they use humor and jokes and interaction like that? Because it gives you emotions. Psychology says that if a person experiences emotions during training, they remember the material much better. Internship provides work experience which helps students apply their education in practice, develop their leadership skills and gives a competitive advantage when looking for a permanent position. So students here do internships, right? Yeah, of course. We already work with more than 500 companies. The school has a career department that helps students find and get suitable jobs. Your connections enhance your story, help you stand out from the competition, and provide a stream of ideas for media outlets who are always looking for content that will interest their audience. Through your connections, you yourself become an interesting brand, providing various types of content, and the media will promote you themselves. I'm on a street called Diagonal, and you may be wondering why this street and why has it to do with the school. So firstly, Diagonal is one of the most famous streets in Barcelona. Secondly, this street is home to offices of large companies such as IBM, and the school cooperates with them, inviting speakers from these companies. They also do what is called workshops for students here, in which representatives of companies come and meet with students. So a student can meet with a company representative right at the university. You might ask who spoke at the university. Among the speakers were chairman of Starbucks, the director of Manchester City, the CEO of Nestlé, representatives of CNBC, the American television company, that is top managers of large companies. Students also have the opportunity to meet with investors, so if you want to create your own startup, reps of investment companies come here and you can pitch them your project. We were shown examples of students who got funding for their project while still studying in university. Some people are always in the right place at the right time. They constantly get new opportunities and chances to advance. Sometimes it's a matter of luck, like winning concert tickets on the radio, but in other cases, their success does not come from chance alone, especially when it comes to things like being picked for a promotion instead of someone else. How do they do it? When it comes to being in the right place at the right time, it is more about your positioning than luck. Consistently being in the right place at the right time when you're trying to advance professionally is a matter of discipline. To be one of those people requires intention, the art of positioning yourself. Comfort is entwined into our bodies, into our central nervous system, and into our memories, into the unique methods of navigation and actions in the world. It should also be entwined into the space in which we live, as a means of physical and emotional support. We've completed all the lessons and masterclasses that we had with the teacher, and now we're going to the residence. Getting from the university to the residence takes 15 minutes on this bus, and I was told that in theory you can walk to it, and in any case 15 minutes is very close. We're about to see the residence, and spoiler alert, it's really, really awesome. As you can see, the residence is gated, everything's closed.
Хорошо, хорошо.
I've already been to this residence 3 years ago. Yeah, I think it was 3 years, and there is a pool on the roof here. There was, I think, still is. There was also a cinema inside, as well as areas for studying. That is, students could also study here. And another thing that's different about this residence, the teachers come here and you can study with them right here for free. Here in the residential area, there are villas on this side, on a kind of hilly terrain, or overlooking the city. There is a whole sport complex here with football pitches and tennis courts, a gym right there, and on top of that, well, the pool is a whole separate story. But from the pool you get a view of the city, and beyond that is the beach. Barcelona, by the way, has probably one of the largest beaches in Europe in terms of length. Barcelona is an international hub, and its international airport is one of the busiest in Europe, on par with London and Paris. Well, it's smaller, but neither London nor Paris have sea as they do here. I wouldn't say that the room here is something special, but the policy here is that you essentially stay in the room only to spend the night, but at the same time the residence has everything that a student might ever need. Here you can take accommodation with food, meaning that you can take a room in a dorm plus food in case you don't want to cook. This is the cinema, which you can book together with your school friends. Bring your chips and popcorn, choose the movie, and have your own movie theater in the residence. Here's a relic from the pandemic, a room for online classes. You put up your computer, there is a soundproofing wall around, and the guys sit here, connect online, and communicate. This is a computer lab in the residence, equipped with iMacs with the software, and I don't know what programs they have installed here, but the guys told me they have everything needed for training. I imagine they have the Adobe suite, so you don't need to bring along a powerful computer, you have everything here. We're not back at the school, we're continuing our tour of the residence. So this room, this class, what it's for is certain teachers or speakers come here to give masterclasses. This is included as part of your life at the residence if you stay here. It's like an extracurricular club that any student can attend. This room is for conducting this kind of lectures. Now there is also a music room nearby, but I don't play. They have an app for the laundry room, and you need to download the app first, register, and deposit money there. There is a washing machine and a dryer. You turn on this dryer from the app, and it shows you how much time is left there. Showing time is an important feature of this laundry app. If your laundry is done, you need to go and get it out. Otherwise, other students will come, and if the washing machine is occupied, your stuff will simply be thrown out. But therefore, the app is very important to control time. Here's a funny thing: there are scales here because you can put more than 6 kilograms of laundry, so they have scales to weigh your clothes. This reminds me of Thailand. There are ladies outside of hotels who do laundry, and they also weigh your clothes. The cost depends on the weight. This room is closed now, but in case you're not satisfied with your personal cinema, you can come watch TV on these cool sofas and armchairs. Even the small details are thought out in this residence. There's, for example, the mirror in the corner, since students can be walking from one direction or the other, and so they don't bump into each other. You have this mirror, you can see from that side what's happening here. The courtyard, a terrace, decking, palm trees, and by the way, really cool bridges between buildings. Look, a nicely made bridge. And greenery. That's my inner gardener. The residence has a parking lot underneath, as it should have. And there is another thing. There are scooters, which you can see parked there. Students can rent these scooters. Look, you see it has Residencia Saria, and do you see this thing spinning that shows that it's charging, since these scooters are electric, and it feels like we're in the future, but we have to remember that in 2 days we'll fly back to Penza and to Moscow.
No!
The main difference between these residences and ours back in Russia, that our dorms are based, as I can call it, meaning you have nothing but a room, but here they try to include everything for you in the dormitories. You have computers, classrooms where you can study, you have a library, theater, entertainment, and food. So a student does not have to think about anything at all, does not have to worry about how to find an apartment to rent. And by the way, about apartments, some might think, why not rent your own apartment? Firstly, in order to rent an apartment, you usually have to pay for a year in advance, so not on a monthly basis. Well, often you may have to make a deposit, which can also be a huge sum, yeah. So a big initial payment, that is, it may not be so easy for a foreign student to rent an apartment. Staying at the residence is much simpler. It's, in my opinion, a very well thought out solution. There is no better time than now. Like any student, you and I have been in classes, so we visited the educational institution and we invited to the graduation ceremony so that we could witness the final handing out of the diplomas. For them, that's a really very serious event with the graduation caps tossed into the air. The entire university is present at the event, including parents and relatives of the graduates. Start creating a vision for yourself, your life, and your career today. Overcome difficulties. Create what you want. Rebuild and rebrand yourself. Tell yourself that everything is possible. Be patient and be at peace with yourself in the process.